Hello guys and welcome back to my video. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about Tmux. So if you don't know what Tmux is, it's okay. Tmux is basically a screen multiplexer, as they say, which allows us to split screen and have multiple screens inside of a terminal. And it is very handy to when you're working in terminal to move around, create new uh, screens, and do all the fancy stuff and cool stuff. So before I talk more about Tmux, let's look at how a normal workflow would look like if you don't have Tmux and if you're just using some regular uh, stuff like this one. So currently I'm using Pop OS to demonstrate this. It's a virtual machine. And then I'll show you how to install my configs and set everything up. So let's say that we have one terminal open like that, and I open Vim here. Then while I'm in Vim without quitting it, I want to do something else. There are two ways to do it. One is to create a new tab. The other one is to go here and open up a new window and have multiple windows stacked together like that and work on it, do other stuff. Right? That's one way to do it, and it works. We can get things done with it, but Tmux is a better. Tmux provides us with a better solution to this. Normally, Tmux is more useful when we SSH into a server, but even if we don't SSH and we're working on our local machine, Tmux is still useful and provides us with a lot of tools, not a tool, but a lot of functionality that can help enhance our workflow and productivity. So, if you have watched my using Linux for college productivity workflow, you know that I have a way to open up a bunch of files in Tmux, which I didn't come up with that. It was Primogen who came up with that. I just use his solution, which is really clean and works perfectly fine and is very useful to everyone. So, I'll show that real quick. Let me go to my GitHub and then repositories. And if we scroll down to scripts, there's a script called Tmux Sessionizer. And if I open that up, so at the end of the day, what it's basically doing is finding files inside of this directories, not files, folders inside of this directory with the minimum depth of 1 and maximum depth of also 1 of type directory. And we're piping that to fuzzy finder FCF, and with that we can select a folder and then open that folder up with Tmux. So that's basically what's happening here. It's nothing big, but it's really powerful. Right. So I'll quit out of Vim and go to cd doc local bin and then get Tmux Sessionizer, and then I actually already have a Tmux Sessionizer here. I'll just remove the new one. Okay, so if I go over here, you'll see that these are the folders that we'll be looking into. So let's say you have a pictures folder right here, and you want to look more into inside the pictures folder. You can add that if it has subfolders. You can put in a path to your mostly visiting directories and stuff, so that you can jump right into it and any folders inside of that directory. So this is a pretty clean thing to have here. I usually put this inside Tmux Sessionizer, and not exit. Okay, so that's fine. Next thing is let's actually look at Tmux itself. So a workflow with Tmux would look something like, let me open Tmux. Right now I have a default Tmux configuration. Let me open my show keys. So if I do Control Shift I, uh, which is basically reloading the configuration. No, I mean Control B Shift I is reloading the configuration. But if I do Control B and C, it will create a new screen right here. This is screen 0, this is screen 1. If I do Control B Shift percent or Control B and percent, it will open up a new a split screen over here. And if I do Control B and quotation double quotes, it will open up screen horizontally, and I can move around it without, if we don't have any configuration, using Control B and arrow keys. But there is a way to change this to Vim keybinds, so you can move around with Control H, J, K, L. So that's that, and then we can look at all the open windows by doing Control B and W. So you can learn more about this by going into the Tmux documentation and learn more shortcuts. But what I'll basically show is how to kind of customize this to your liking. And I'll just copy off my .dot file, my config for Tmux onto it. So if I go here to .dot files and then go to Tmux, tmux.conf, raw, copy this, exit vim, not vim, wget tmux config, and if I exit out, exit type tmux again, it shows error. Let me open a vim tmux.config. Right here I need to add a set wq. Now if I exit out and type tmux, it gives me a new var that I configured, but it just shows the icon. It still does not have all the things here because we don't have the plugins for it. And the plugin is tpm tmux plugin manager, and to install that we can just copy this and paste it right here. Oops, go to the front, git clone, and then if I do Control B Shift I, okay, looks like it's not working fine. So if I go open up Tmux, just type up it, Control B Shift I, reloaded the Tmux environment and install all the plugins. Now we can see some information here. You can do a lot more with the Tmux bar down here, but I just like to keep it pretty minimal. There's a bunch of stuff here that I can quickly look at. Now from here, I can press Control F to open up the Tmux Sessionizer command that was there, and I can jump into any folder. Let's say I want to go to Docker Muscle Vim. I can go over there and look at stuff here. And let me go back, Control F. If I want to go to music, now I'm inside music. And if I do Control Shift W, I can look at all the open stuff here. And yeah, and if I do Control B Shift 5 to open up a split plane, now I can just jump around with Control H and Control J, Control H and Control L from plane to plane. If I do If I do that, now I can move around with Vim keybinds, which is a plugin. It's pretty nice. You don't have to keep doing Control Shift B and that. And this also works with NeoVim. So if you're inside NeoVim and you have a split screen inside of it, uh, it will first go into the next split screen of NeoVim before coming outside to Tmux. So yeah, uh, it's really useful and helps you get things done much in a better way, much faster and easier. Thank you for watching my video and see you next time.